Hey guys, Technoman here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to take a first look at iOS 15, the official version on the iPhone SE 2020 edition or the second edition of it. This is not the 2016 model. This is the second edition one that was released in 2020 of April. So this one is fairly new in terms that it's only a year and a half since it's been released. It was released as sort of a off model or redesign of the iPhone 8. If you remember, the 8 has the same exact body dimension, pretty much the size. So it's been rumored that the SE 2020 edition was sort of a redesign or recycle parts from the iPhone 8, but nonetheless it does have a iconic, powerful chipset, the A13 Bionic chip, which is known to be one of the fastest chip when Apple redesigned it and put it out on the market. It also has a 6 CPU core CPU with the 4 efficiency core, and then a 6 core GPU and an 8 core neural engine to it. So in terms of power, it does deliver quite the power compared to the iPhone 8. So it's a pocket sized iPhone where you still have the home button, you don't have the headphone jack, but nonetheless it is a powerhouse when it comes to that. Of course, the cameras aren't going to be as great because it's just only 112 megapixel camera, but you can still record it in 4K and things like that. So what's going to be the experience when you download iOS 15 on the iPhone SE? Well, a couple things are going to happen when you download iOS 15 here. First thing, if you haven't updated, go to settings, general, and then software update, and make sure you see that update and you can update it too. As you can see, we updated to 15.0.2 at the time of recording. There were 2 minor updates that came out along with this, so those are some security fixes like Apple does with every major update. That's sort of expected. Those updates are going to come through. Also, a couple things when you do upgrade it, it's going to take you somewhere between half an hour to 45 minutes, again depending on the Wi-Fi connection you have. If you have a good Wi-Fi, if you're doing over the air, for most people that's going to be the case. You're going to be looking at that time frame. You can even do it overnight, and if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can also connect it to your iTunes account on your computer and you can update it there as well. There's going to be a lot of updates coming with iOS 15. Of course, the first thing you notice is going to be this focus mode right here. Now you're able to set your phone to be besides do not disturb. You're going to have personal, work, or sleep mode, so it kind of allows you to focus on certain things, so that filters out the notification based on how you set it. You also see redesign of a couple of applications. For example, Safari has a new look to it. You have the navigation here at the bottom. You have these things known as tab groups now. Now you can create tab groups, create different tabs, and layer it along with, of course, the private mode, and a lot of redesign making Safari a little bit faster, which finally it was a time for them to update. Other updates you're probably going to notice is with the weather application here, where you're seeing more consolidated, cleaner interface here. You have the weather temperature here, you have different things like UV index, sunlight. Of course, all of these were still there, it was sort of all over the place, but now it's more in its own compartment and things of that nature. So you'll probably see that update. There's also been updates to the map application. You'll notice that with the map applications, you're going to get a couple things going on here. You're now able to have a global view where you can actually navigate and look around, which I think is really cool in terms of the graphic. You have things like guides and pics and all of that. When now you have the ability to share your location, mark location like you did before. But you also notice these fun features that come out with the map application, trying to get users to really push towards using that. Of course, there's other updates to the phones, things like being able to do live text. Now if you haven't been able to or haven't seen this feature, now you can simply select a text. If we lay this down, it will recognize this text, and now you can actually copy text from actual photos. So these are known as live text. That's another thing that's coming on. There's updates to the Messenger app. Now you're able to share across the board with your contacts things like music, podcasts, TV shows, and a lot more going on. There's updates to the face emojis as well, and a couple other cool feature updates that you'll get to see when you update your phone. There's also been updates to the FaceTime, and one really neat feature comes out of FaceTime Link, which is essentially sending a link to someone, whether they have an iPhone or Apple device. It doesn't really matter. They can now join as long as they have an internet connection and a browser. So that's going to be another neat feature coming out. And along with that are going to be offline Safari. Safari is a little bit faster now. You get this on the device processing, so it doesn't always have to reach out to the Apple servers, which makes Safari a little bit faster. There's been updates to the wallet application, so if you are a person that uses the wallet application in the only have cards and debit cards and credit card, you didn't have much going on. You had boarding pass, but now you're actually able to add keys to it. So you can add house key, your hotel key, your car key, all of that. You're also able to add things like your actual identification card, like if you have passport ID card, if you had a driver's license, you can add that as well. So that's going to be other thing to note. And then of course, along with that are other features like being able to drag and drop images and copy things around, translate across multiple application, and support for more applications. So all of those features are great and all. And how does that hold up with the phone? As you see, when we did upgrade it to it, we noticed that there's really no issues so far in terms of the performance. When it comes to the battery life, the iPhone SE does have a 1821 mAh battery, and that battery lasts about 13 hours. Not the greatest battery compared to some of the newer phones, but we noticed that when we did go ahead and update the phone, it didn't take too much battery, and so far it's been stable in the sense that there hasn't been any drastic downsides to the phone's battery life in general. So that's going to be other thing. All of your favorite application of course is supported. You have big things like app widget going on. Because it's iOS 15 and only a year and a half old phone, this phone is probably going to be relevant for you for another good 3 to 4 years at the minimum, and you're going to be expect that. So if you really like that smaller 4.7 display, which is a good size to keep in your pocket, and if you don't prefer one of the bigger model phone nowadays with everything going on there, it's just bigger phones. And if you aren't a big fan of Face ID and still like the Touch ID where you can unlock your phone by simply doing the Touch ID, you might be a fan of that. So that's going to be something to note. So overall, app performance, apps and such, no issues, no glitches so far, which we've seen that sometimes that happen with major update, but that's not something you're going to be experiencing with it. That's why I want to hear from you guys. If you guys have upgraded your iPhone SE or any of your iPhones to iOS 15, the official version of it, have you experienced any issues, any connectivity issue? Leave a comment in the comment section so we can also see what the issues are so far. And if we do find any issues with the iPhone SE, we will let you guys know. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. So hopefully this video was helpful. If this video was helpful, make sure again hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.